Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
And good morning. Happy Mardi Gras. It is Fat Tuesday, February 25th.
Thanks for joining us this morning. And yes, if you're headed out, definitely take a jacket for right now.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily feel like Fat Tuesday, more like Frigid Tuesday out there for Mike Osterhage.
Oh, this is nothing compared to what's going to be the next couple of days. It'll be Frigid Thursday for sure, and kind of blustery the next couple of days as well. Excuse me, including... Got myself choked up there, including today. We are going to see the wind pick up. Going to be a beautiful sunrise this morning. 38 degrees right now in Helotes, 44 in town. So we are close to, or actually a couple of degrees below a normal low temperature. There may be a slight bit of a wind chill out there, just a puff of a breeze in places, but not too bad. That will change, though, throughout the afternoon. Everything is on the low side as far as all the allergens are concerned. We still haven't gotten into the throes of the oak season, but a lot of those live oak leaves are continuing to fall. Temperatures, we will stay fairly steady over the next couple of hours, and then the wind does start to pick up. We'll make it up right around into the low 60s by noon today. Plenty of sunshine out there, maybe one or two high clouds. We'll get up into the mid 60s because we have another front moving on through here, and so that's going to kind of hold temperatures somewhat in check, despite the fact that we're about normal. This morning, we stay slightly below that later on today. And like I said, the wind is going to be picking up basically north at about 15, 20 miles per hour, some gusts on top of that. Then the cooler air continues to move on in here throughout the day tomorrow as well as Thursday. And it's going to be blustery Thursday. Weekend forecast coming up in a couple of minutes. Time saver traffic. Here's Officer Marcus Trujillo. And it's been a fairly quiet morning, which is how you like it.
It's been pretty good for the commuters out there. Smooth commute, no delays. We're not seeing any distractions, anything that should slow you down this morning on your commute. So that's a great news if you're getting ready to head out the door. Let's take a look at a couple of TransGuide cameras right now. 1604 Equilibra Road, no issues. A few vehicles lining up for that exit to eastbound Highway 151. Then, of course, 37 at Hackberry, north and southbound lanes at 37 still running smoothly. No problems there. 35 at Braunfels for the north or the southbound lanes. And as we take a look at 1604 at Potranco, nothing but smooth sailing out there. Mark and Stephanie.
Thank you, Marcus. U.S. senators expected to meet for a classified briefing about the coronavirus today.
It comes a day after the White House requested $1.25 billion in emergency funding to fight the virus outbreak. Now, the acting director at the Office of Management and Budget says most of the funding would come from shifting money from other government agencies.
Here in San Antonio, health officials confirmed 6 cases total coronavirus at JBSA Lackland. They say the public risk is very low. Meanwhile, the Dubai International Airport, which is the world's busiest for international flights, is limiting flights to and from Iran after several cases in Iraq, Afghanistan, and other Middle Eastern countries had ties to Iran.
Italy is implementing police checkpoints in the country after 7 people died and about 230 were infected. In our next half hour, we will have more on how outbreak concerns are causing global markets to drop.
It was a rough day yesterday on Wall Street in New York. Well, new this morning, a woman is in the hospital after a crash she was involved with involving a pole. Police say it happened just after 9:30 last night in the 800 block of Bassey. Here's video from the scene. They say a driver lost control of the car, went between a pole and guardrail, then crashed into a pole right in front of a used car lot. Police say the driver was arguing with the woman in the passenger seat when they lost control. The driver and 2 passengers weren't hurt, but the woman in the passenger seat was taken to an area hospital.
A man is facing charges after police arrested him for several robberies. This is 20-year-old Justin Johnson. Police say on February 19th he committed several crimes. They say Johnson walked up to a person at an ATM, held that person at gunpoint, and demanded $600 from the victim. Now later he walked up to a car, got in, and held a machete to that driver's neck. He demanded money from the driver, and the victim called his parents to wire him money to give to Johnson. Johnson now facing several aggravated robbery charges.
Well, you may see this next story on TransGuide signs around the metro area this morning. San Antonio police looking for a man they believe is in danger. This is 41-year-old Joseph Lopez, and they've issued what they call a clear alert for him, which means they believe he's missing, kidnapped, or abducted and in immediate danger of injury or death. This is the first time the new alert is being used in San Antonio after its introduction across the state back in June. Lopez was last seen in the 4300 block of Stockdale in a gray Pontiac G6. If you have any information about where he is, call SAPD 210-207-7660.
And police are asking for your help finding a robbery suspect on the northeast side. Police say this man walked into the Circle K in the 15,000 block of Judson Road earlier this month. That's at the corner of Judson and Nacogdoches. Now, they say he walked in to that store and pulled a gun on the cashier, demanding money from the register. He was able to run away with that cash. Now, if you recognize this man, you are asked to call Crime Stoppers. That number is 210-224-STOP. And riding the wave of a huge victory in Nevada, Bernie Sanders sailing into the South Carolina primary as the Democratic frontrunner to beat.
But Joe Biden is hoping a win in South Carolina could make him the ultimate challenger to Sanders as the race steams ahead. CNN's Nadia Romero is in Charleston with a look at how the candidates are preparing their plays for the Palmetto State.
Bernie Sanders is surging, and that's put him in the hot seat. Critics are wondering, how can he afford all the promises he's making? Well, Bernie Sanders said on Monday night you can go on his website and look at all his plans, and he'll have price tags next to them on how he plans to roll them out if elected president. Bernie Sanders is on a roll.
In Nevada, we have just put together a multi-generational, multi-racial coalition, which is going to not only win in Nevada, it's going to sweep this country.
The Vermont senator's ability to galvanize a broad coalition of voters, propelling him to the front of the pack in the first three contests, as he sets his sights now on South Carolina and Super Tuesday states.
Don't tell anybody. I don't want to get them nervous. We're going to win the Democratic primary in Texas.
And with Sanders surging, some are getting nervous about what effect a Sanders candidacy would have on difficult down-ballot races.
We dare not ignore, we dare not dismiss, and we absolutely dare not attack those voices in the Democratic Party, focusing on keeping those seats in the right hands, because the next president is going to need that in order to get any of our big, bold ideas done.
One candidate looking to stop the Sanders surge, Joe Biden.
I'm going to do everything in my power to earn your respect, earn your vote.
For Biden, South Carolina is his chance to become the 2020 comeback kid.
Whoever wins this and wins this primary is going to go into Super Tuesday very strongly.
But if the former vice president fails to win in the Palmetto State, it could mean the end of his race. Tuesday night is the next debate here in Charleston, South Carolina. All of the candidates, except for Tulsi Gabbard, will be back on the hot seat. And for the first time, we'll see two billionaires share the debate stage. In Charleston, South Carolina, I'm Nadia Romero.
And here in Bexar County, remember that you can vote early in the 2020 election. You have until Friday to vote early, and Election Day is a week from today on March 3rd. Now, several important races and proposals are on the ballot. Nationally, the presidential and congressional races are on the ballot as well. Locally, bond proposals and the sheriff's race are some of the races to focus on. Now, for all this information about candidates and the races, just head to our website at Ksat.com and click on our Vote 2020 page.
The TSA has banned the use of TikTok for social media outreach amid concerns about national security. Move comes after Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer Sunday called for the agency to stop using the China-owned app. National security experts have flagged concerns about TikTok's collection of user data. A special concern, laws that compel Chinese companies to support and cooperate with the intelligence work of the Chinese government. TSA says they do not have an official TikTok account, but some employees use the app as part of social media outreach.
Roger Stone will be in U.S. District Court today for two new hearings. A judge will hear a motion from Stone's lawyers that claim alleged misconduct from a juror. President Donald Trump has commented in public and Twitter that he thinks the misconduct allegations were biased and that a new trial for Stone should be in order. Now, last week, Stone was sentenced to just over 3 years in prison for hindering probes into Russia's action in the last presidential campaign.
President Donald Trump's pick for the Federal Reserve facing criticism for some comments she made back in the year 2011. Judy Shelton said the central bank was, quote, almost a rogue agency, end quote, the U.S. government. She said it had become so big it could not be trusted with oversight of the dollar. Shelton made the comments in an interview with the Atlas Network. She was already facing an uphill battle to win Senate confirmation after 3 Republicans said they were undecided on whether they would support her nomination.
And President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania Trump are returning to the United States following a trip to India. The president and the Indian prime minister focused on the trade at the end of the two-day visit. American dairy farmers, distillers, and drug makers have been eager to break into India, which is the world's 7th largest economy. The First Lady also visited a school in New Delhi, and both her and her husband laid a wreath on Gandhi's grave.
Back here at home, 10 minutes after the hour, 44 degrees.
And Warren Buffett gave up his trademark flip phone for a new smartphone. See what company he decided to support.
Crank up the jazz, dance in a second line, enjoy Mardi Gras. We'll take a look at how some New Orleans residents and guests are celebrating the big holiday, including some changes for the parade in the Crescent City.
And taking a look outside with live cam, it's a cold morning in San Antonio, and it's going to be, a cold morning for a couple of these mornings this week. We're going to check in with Mike to see how your week's going to look, and also this weekend. We'll be right back.
.614 from beads and parade floats to booze and Bourbon Street. New Orleans knows how to throw a great party before the Christian Lenten season begins.
CNN's Camila Bernal has a look at the event that New Orleans looks forward to all year long.
It's like Christmas for New Orleans.
Mardi Gras marking the last day of the carnival season.
It's hard to imagine how much people look forward to the parade every year and how much people look forward to Mardi Gras. And you want to make it worth their while.
And to make it worthwhile, The crews have been preparing for months.
We've got sculptors and painters, seamstresses, jewelers, paper arts, a whole series of industries that really make this such a beautiful celebration.
It fuels the city's economy and guarantees a memorable time for the thousands that come to watch the parades.
I'm gonna take you to see the Zulu King in New Orleans at the Mardi Gras.
Tell me something! This year, a focus on sustainable and recyclable throws.
We have just tried to emphasize quality over quantity, go with more reusable items, and so we do have a lot of those this year.
A large portion of the beads will get recycled, highlighting just one of the many aspects already being planned for 2021.
So we already have designs for next year's parade ready to go. So the whole process starts over.
In New Orleans, I'm Camila Bernal reporting.
It's exactly 6:15.
Let's check in with Marcus to see how the roads are looking on this Tuesday morning.
Still looking pretty good out there. Take a look at the map right now, folks. No delays in anyone's travel times. You can see all the green out there, so everything looks pretty good. Let's take another look at some TransGuide cameras. You can see 37 at Jones in the downtown vicinity. So far, no issues there. Highway 9836 starting to get an increase on the westbound lane, or eastbound lanes rather. Westbound, not too bad. I-10 at Probant looks pretty good. Moving over to 410 at Fredericksburg Road looks pretty good. A little crowded on 35 at Topperwine near that construction area, but no problems there. 281 at Hildebrand.
Thank you so much, Marcus. Michael, what are you up to over there?
Well,
pretty
I was
pictures?
trying to. I was going
You're
to
ordering some of it on Amazon, aren't you?
No.
He was ordering you breakfast, but
Not anymore? Yeah, that's gone now.
Delete,
Yeah,
delete,
but
delete.
unfortunately, the Wi-Fi in here is like 2 coffee cans and a string. So.
Oh, no.
Oh, darn it.
Hello?
It's about.
Okay.
We have some pretty pictures from
Well,
you
he's
guys.
got a picture.
Thank
Did you
you.
draw the picture?
Right? What's your plan B?
My plan B is just to advance my maps up to this one.
There you
so
go.
We can do a
All
little
right.
bit of Weather 101.
Good luck. Break a leg.
Thank you very much. February, we were going along fairly well as far as rain was concerned, but right now we have gotten officially just over an inch of rain, 1.07 inches. So we're about almost a half an inch behind. And given the forecast that we're not going to see any rain for the next few days, of course, the month ends on Saturday. And so we're going to end up being about 3/4 of an inch behind for the month of February, and then go back to January. Did you get it to work? No, you didn't, Marcus. Thank you. He's just teasing. What are you going to do, Marcus? Anyway, and then going back to January, we're going to be about 2/3 of an inch behind as far as rain is concerned. There may be something down the road into next week, but not for the next few days. So good news is we've got a beautiful forecast, lots of sunshine. Bad news is we've got a beautiful forecast that doesn't have any rain in it. 44 here in town, 45 Bernie, Canyon Lake, and some 30s out in portions of the hill country, and very dry air. Of course, the first front moved through yesterday, dried us out. Now this next front is going to bring in the colder air around here, and it's going to get colder over the next couple of days. It's going to take a few days for it to really move on in here. We also, as you can see upstairs in the atmosphere, really dried out quite a bit. There may be a little bit of moisture upstairs in the atmosphere today, so 1 or 2 high clouds, but still it's going to be a gorgeous day today. So we've got the winds, not really a big factor right now out of the north primarily. They will start to pick up throughout the day, and then we really get that push of colder, drier air moving on in here on much windier conditions tomorrow. Today, about 15-20 miles per hour, a couple of gusts here and there, but then very blustery throughout the day tomorrow with that dry, cold air settling on in here. So you'll notice wind chills tomorrow. And then going into Thursday, wind is going to be subsiding somewhat tomorrow night into Thursday, and that's going to allow for some really cold air to settle in here. 28 right now in Amarillo. That's going to be the temperature in parts of the hill country by Thursday morning, and we're going to be down right around freezing here in town. And nothing as far as really any clouds right now. It's going to be a spectacular sunrise today, and all these sunrise sunset pictures, well, you got a few days to enjoy them, let me tell you. 60 today at noon, plenty of sunshine. Wind is going to be picking up out of the north at about 10 to 15 miles per hour, and then later on this afternoon, 64 for a high temperature today, so about normal, a few degrees below that. Tomorrow we start off at 40 and only 55 for a high temperature, and windy conditions tomorrow, and then freezing Thursday, but then we see a nice big warm up throughout the day, and we'll have lots of sunshine the next few days. Friday, Saturday, start to see a few more clouds Sunday and Monday, and we get up into the low 70s. Looks like another front moves through by about Tuesday, Wednesday next week.
Very cold mornings.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Mike.
Beautiful pictures.
Yes. we'll see them eventually.
Figured out, so.
Yeah. Thanks,
You
Mike.
can handle it. 620, 44 degrees.
And disgraced movie producer Harvey Weinstein spent the night in a hospital for evaluation after a jury convicted him of rape. Now, he was being transported to jail when he was suddenly rerouted with chest pains.
Here's your secret word of the day. Enter it right now on Ksat.com for your chance to win a $25 gift card from We Are Circle K.
Skin Sin number 17. Too many after parties. New Neutrogena Bright Boost with dullness-fighting neoglucosamine. Boost cell turnover by 10 times for instantly brighter skin. Bright Boost. Neutrogena.
Thanks to Move Free Ultra, I keep up with this little one, see the world with this guy, and hit the town with these girls.
In a clinical study, 4 out of 5 users felt better joint comfort. Move Free. Find our coupon in Sunday's paper.
What's my Safe Flight story? My truck is my livelihood. So when my windshield cracked, the experts at Safe Flight Auto Glass came right to me.
Hi, I'm Adrian.
Oh, thanks for coming. With service I could trust. Right, girl?
Safe Flight Repair, Safe Flight Replace.
Skip to the good part with Alka-Seltzer Plus, now with 25% more concentrated power. Nothing works faster for powerful cold relief.
Oh, what a relief it is. So fast.
In this morning's GMA First Look, disgraced movie mogul Harvey Weinstein, who for years walked the red carpet flanked by Hollywood A-listers, is now a convicted felon, found guilty of 2 of the 5 counts against him.
To the survivors of Harvey Weinstein, I owe, and we all owe, an immense debt to you, who had the courage beyond measure to speak your story to the world at great personal risk.
Now facing up to 25 years in prison, the jury also acquitted Weinstein on the 2 most serious criminal charges, 2 counts of predatory sexual assault and 1 count of first-degree rape. And coming up at 7 a.m., GMA has all angles of the verdict covered, with Amy Robach reporting live from near Rikers Island. Plus author Ronan Farrow, attorney Gloria Allred, and Weinstein victim Mimi Halei, all live in Times Square. With your GMA First Look, I'm Kenneth Moten, ABC News, New York.
Sony released a new flagship smartphone. It's called the Xperia 1 II. It has 5G technology and a headphone jack because Sony says it delivers the best sound quality. The company has not yet said how much it will cost, but it's scheduled to be released this spring.
And Apple is reportedly releasing new headphones, but this time they're not earbuds. Target workers have noticed a new product in their system. Larger over-ear headphones that appear to be made by Apple. Now reports say they could be released later this year for $400.
And one of Apple's largest shareholders has finally given up his flip phone. Billionaire Warren Buffett's decided to go with an iPhone. He told CNBC he made the change recently. Buffett says he uses the iPhone simply as a phone. Now he already has an iPad to check stocks.
My mother gave up her flip phone
Did
last
she?
year because my brother bought her a smartphone.
Right. And iPhones and Androids have been popular forever. A lot of people are buying up the new Razr flip phone.
I know.
Because it was a popular design.
I missed the Razr.
Yeah.
It was nice. Oh, well. Time now, 6:25, 44 degrees.
We are still tracking world markets, wondering how things will be affected by coronavirus concerns today. Yesterday, the market's having one of their worst day in years.
And the next Democratic debate tonight in South Carolina, we're going to see why it's important for the candidates to win the state ahead of Super Tuesday.
TransGuide, if you have to hit the road in the next 4 or 5 minutes, there's 10 at 16:04, and we are going to have an absolutely gorgeous sunrise today. Mike and Marcus are back coming up here, bottom of the hour with the very latest.
The list of charges is growing against a man accused of going on an all-day crime spree. Good morning, I'm Katrina Weber. I'll tell you all about it.
The stock market plunges over fears of the coronavirus. I'm ABC's Serena Marshall with the new $2.5 billion request coming from the White House coming up.
If you missed last night's picturesque sunsets, you get a second chance. Beautiful sunrise in progress as we speak. Good morning to you. It's Tuesday. It is February 25th, Fat Tuesday. And we're going to talk about how chilly it is out there in just a sec.
Thanks for joining us this morning. But yeah, it looks beautiful, though, even though it's cold.
That's right. Marcus, how are we looking, sir?
Well, the roadways look pretty good. Now, though, there's no accidents right now. We do have a stalled vehicle over there, 410 and Highway 90. So on that ramp from eastbound Highway 90 to northbound 410, very, very minor delay, only causing delays there on the ramp. Once you make it on 410, pretty much clear sailing.
Okay, good to know. Mike says, buckle up. We're about to see some gustier winds around here.
Yeah, it'll be breezy today and then very, very windy tomorrow. And then it really, really gets cold. It's chilly out there right now, just about a normal low temperature, maybe a few degrees below that, mid 40s, but some 30s in the hill country. So grab a jacket and you may want to keep it handy today, even though we'll be up in the mid 60s with the breeze out there. You get in the shadows and it's going to be a little bit more on the cool side. But yeah, I mean, once again, live cam. Just a beautiful start this morning. Got a couple of clouds there right along the horizon. Otherwise, plenty of sunshine and 38 in Helotes, 37 Kerrville, 47 New Braunfels, 42 at Port SA as well as at Randolph right now. A little bit of a wind chill in places. Not much of a breeze at all, but the wind is going to be picking up. We've got another front moving on through here. That'll get the winds going, and then eventually it's going to take about a day, day and a half for all the colder air to come on in here. Everything's on the low side, the laundry list of allergens out there. And as far as the rest of today, again, we make it up to 60 at noon and 64 for a high temperature with those winds out of the north at about 15 to 20 miles per hour. Looks like we've got another freeze in store. Do we have any rain in store? Details coming up and a closer look at the weekend in just a couple of minutes. Time saver traffic right now. Yeah, have there been any incidents or accidents so far this morning?
So far, none.
Okay.
We've been very fortunate. However, things can change at the drop of a hat. Right now, as we take a look at the roadways, everything's still in the green. Slight delays over there on those northbound main lanes of 410, but nothing significant that should really affect you. Maybe 1 to 2 minutes at most right now. Just take a look at TransGuide. This is up there by the airport. Evidence that there's definitely more vehicles out there on the roadway right now than when we checked earlier. 281 at 410. You can see very busy on those connector flyover ramps and even down below eastbound and westbound lanes of 410, starting to pick up in volume right now. Stephanie?
Thank you, Marcus. Trouble is adding up for one West Side man. He's now facing more charges in connection with an all-day crime spree. Our Katrina Weber is live north of downtown with that story. Now, Katrina, what triggered these new charges?
Well, all of these charges actually have to do with that same crime spree that happened last week. This now is a matter of some of the paperwork catching up with the case. Almost from the beginning, San Antonio police have believed that 20-year-old Justin Johnson had robbed several people last Wednesday, kidnapping one of them in the process. That victim told police that Johnson threatened him with a machete and what turned out to be a toy gun, forced him to drive to an ATM, then call his parents for money, all while holding him against his will. That man's parents ended up calling police, and they say they caught Johnson in the act. Later, they linked him to the two other robberies that happened that same day. They say he stole money from a woman at an ATM and a wallet, cell phones, tennis shoes, and other items from two teenage boys. Now, Johnson originally was charged with aggravated kidnapping at the time of his arrest. Now he also faces 4 counts of aggravated robbery. Reporting live north of downtown, Katrina Weber, Ksat 12 News.
This morning, there's an urgent race to stop the global spread of coronavirus, infecting around 79,000 people globally, leaving at least 2,600 dead. The White House requested emergency funding from Congress to address the outbreak.
And the rapid spread in at least 32 countries worldwide caused the Dow to plunge more than 10,000 points yesterday. Its worst day in 2 years. ABC's Serena Marshall has more.
From the empty streets of Italy to the shuttered schools of Iran, the impact of the coronavirus moving beyond China and taking hold across the globe. On Pennsylvania Avenue, a $2.5 billion request sent to Congress to help combat the deadly virus.
It is time to prepare. It is time to do everything you would do in preparing for a pandemic.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi called the White House request totally inadequate. The Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer writing on Twitter, the president and his administration aren't taking the coronavirus crisis as seriously as they need to be. Earlier Monday, President Trump took to Twitter, writing, "The coronavirus is very much under control in the USA," and adding, "The stock market starting to look very good to me," even as fears over the spread sent the Dow plunging more than 1,000 points. Investors concerned over global economic production and supply, with China producing nearly a quarter of the world's manufactured goods.
There is some fear creeping into the markets now.
Outside China, the COVID-19 virus spreading person to person. Americans told to avoid all non-essential travel to South Korea as cases surge. In Milan, models walking the runway to an empty room. ABC's James Longman is in Italy.
This is the police line. Beyond here are the 12 towns that are on lockdown. And take a look on Google Maps. You can see every way in is shut down.
Here at home, the number of coronavirus cases rising to 53.
Officials from the CDC, HHS, Homeland Security, and state are heading to Capitol Hill later today to give lawmakers a bipartisan, partly classified briefing. Serena Marshall, ABC News, Washington.
In San Antonio, health officials confirmed more cases of the coronavirus yesterday, bringing the total at JBSA Lackland to 6. However, they say the risk to the public still remains low. To follow our reporting on the coronavirus, you can head to our website at Ksat.com.
Tonight, the Democratic presidential candidates will once again debate, this time in the state of South Carolina.
The debate comes before a critical primary election in the state, which has a large population of black voters. Now, 7 candidates have qualified for the debate: Bernie Sanders, Pete Buttigieg, Joe Biden, Amy Klobuchar, Elizabeth Warren, Michael Bloomberg, and Tom Steyer. The crowd the stage is causing problems in the Democratic Party by splitting votes, particularly among moderate candidates.
The debate will also carry additional weight, with a higher-ranking representative saying he will give his endorsement tomorrow morning after tonight's debate.
I'm going to honor this debate. I don't want to distract from it at all. I want to maintain our first in the South primary status. But on Wednesday morning, I will let my choice be known. I've been asked about it by too many people, and I think I would be dishonorable if I did not tell people exactly what I feel about the candidacy.
The Democratic debate in South Carolina is tonight at 7 o'clock.
And be sure to join us on GMSA tomorrow, where we will have the top moments from the debate.
E-cigarette giant Juul getting ready to propose a new type of device in the U.S., one that would only work for people 21 and over. That's according to the Wall Street Journal. Juul already sells e-cigarettes with an age lock in the UK and Canada. Meanwhile, companies have to submit their vaping products to the FDA by the middle of May to continue selling them here in the U.S.